Welcome to Divine Love Talk with Dr. Parthenia Grant, where we talk about health, well-being, and the love of the divine that exists in all of us. Now, here's your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant.
Thank you for joining us once again this week as we discuss reforming America's educational system. We have Kim Michaels with us from Estonia. Kim, can you hear us? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, welcome. Kim, I know that which Swedish country are you from? I don't want to say it incorrectly.
Which Swedish, which Scandinavian? I'm from Denmark.
Denmark. Ah, okay, Denmark. Thank you, Scandinavian country.
But I did live in Sweden.
Okay, you did. See, I remember Sweden. Okay. Well, we're going to be talking about the Finland's model for education because they've got the number one successful educational model in the world. And you, having lived in Sweden and you're in Europe now and you lived in America for 22 years, when we're looking at the moving into the golden age and a model for the golden age, I think you might agree that some reform might be in order in terms of educating our young people, and the statistics are rather appalling about America. So I do want your input on the information that I'm going to be revealing today about America's educational system, and anything that you can share with the audience that would augment solutions to the situation we're in this country. So thank you for joining us, Kim. We also have Vanessa Benjamin. She's back in the house. Welcome. And the divine Dr. Sarah Larsen, who's always a joy. And Dr. Sarah, let's just start off very quickly before Ann-Marie. What's your last name?
Catano.
We have Ann-Marie Catano. And tell them the organization that you are working with.
With the student empowerment, we come from Los Angeles Mission College, and we're basically the voice for student rights.
Yes, okay. And so I know that educational reform is something very, very close to your heart.
Very close.
And and one of the demands had to do with teachers. You want to share that?
One of our demands actually had to do with getting rid of the teachers that are anti-student, that don't really help in the classroom and are opposed to anything that we do, and hiring more teachers that care about us.
Hey, what a concept! How about that? I mean, makes sense to me. And Dr. Sarah, let's start out, though, because we got something really exciting coming up on Wednesday, and we don't want the audience to forget about 12-12-12 and what's going on there.
There will never be an alignment again of 12-12-12.
How about that?
Ever. So this is a really beautiful time for us as a body of people, group, world, global citizens to come together and to join forces with the global unity movement. Let's make history.
Yes, and tell them what's going on 12-12-12.
They're meditating every hour in every hemisphere for world peace, positive thoughts, whatever it is your intention for the world as a whole.
Positive change.
Positive change out there. And it'll be done twice, once for each hemisphere. If you go to the Masters Shift at mastershift.com.
SHIFT. Master
Shift. And there's translations in Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, all of Hindi.
So what's the website again? Mastershift?
Mastershift.com. At themastershift.com.
Okay. And we'll post that on Divine Love Talk and on Parthenia Grant's Facebook page.
Absolutely. And here in Los Angeles, in the Western Hemisphere, we're going to be meditating at 6:30 p.m.
Okay.
6:30 in Los Angeles. For those of our friends in Buenos Aires, 11:30, Montreal, 9:30 p.m., Mexico City, 8:30, New York City, 9:30 p.m. and Anchorage 5:30 p.m.
And so we will be posting those times, and what science knows, Hard Math Institute, is that when a critical mass of people get together and meditate, they actually set the intention in Washington D.C. to lower the crime rate in the summer,
and it worked.
And it worked.
And they measure it now everywhere the Dalai Lama travels. There are global satellites and Earth radars that measure how peace is just by the Dalai Lama coming to
How about
town.
that?
And your meditation and you being present in the moment really, really counts.
So people
For-
think that they can't affect change individually. We can, but collectively as a unit, we can really help the shift into the golden age. Now, Kim Michaels, I know that on Transcendence Toolbox, you've probably got something there. Am I right? In terms of 1212, a meditation or something.
Well, I do have a lot of invocations. There are also meditative tools, but
Okay.
I have always felt that it's more efficient to use the voice and to use the power of the spoken
Oh,
word.
I agree.
Because it just creates a more, forceful or powerful outgoing action. And I do have a lot of invocations that are aimed at transcending negative conditions in the world and invoking positive energy. So that's certainly something people can look at.
Well, we do want to invite people to go to Transcendence Toolbox. And Kim, for sure, my meditation will be vocal. It will be out loud. So
Yes.
it's powerful.
Sounds good.
Okay, so now moving into the topic today. In 2009, the Program for International Students Assessment ranked U.S. students 17th in the world in science and 25th in math. We're not a third world
That's
country,
alarming.
guys. Okay, now what's even more alarming, okay, get ready, is that in California, on the community college level, our students are testing in reading levels between third and fifth grade reading levels. And when you add to the fact that the definition of functional illiteracy is people who read at or below a sixth grade level, and America has a 70% functional illiteracy rate, could we all kind of agree that we're a little in trouble?
Yeah, I don't understand how we always have this standard of being,
The
the
best.
best and number one, yet we are 75% functionally illiterate.
A little scary. Ann-Marie, what were you going to add to that?
I just think it's, a problem that begins early on. And the thing is, we're not taking care of it early on. So once we get to higher education, we don't really know how to solve it. And then there's nothing really there to help us because people expect us already to come in knowing these things, and we don't know them.
And that is an excellent point, Anne-Marie, because in the movie To Sir with Love, the 1967 movie, Sidney Poitier was all bright-eyed, and he came into the senior classroom with all these ideas about, just following the book and rote learning, and the kids were just totally not interested. They're throwing spitballs, jumping around, acting crazy, and the administration they were saying to him, well, corporal punishment has been outlawed, so we can't do anything with them. We don't know what to do with them.
Wow.
Just kind of like keep them quiet in there. And he realized, like, very quickly, he just threw all the books away, all of the curriculum, and he said, look, you guys are getting ready to graduate this year, and if you can't read by now, I'm really not going to be able to help you with that.
Right.
But I can address issues that are important to you, and I can help you gain some life skills and inspire you. And so he said, from this day forward, whatever you guys want to discuss, it doesn't matter. That's what we're going to talk about. And they were like, and sex? Can we talk about sex? You want to talk about sex? Yes, we're going to talk about sex. There are no taboo limits. And so he actually, by engaging these students, he was able to inspire them to want to read more. And he taught them civility and manners and hygiene and diet. And these are skills that they can actually take into the workplace.
Right, because we're going to carry on these skills forever. So,
Right?
We need them.
And we do have to take into consideration, Anne-Marie, what you said, the fact that if there's a deficit in the classroom, and every semester I take a survey, okay, of where my students are and where their needs are, and I might be teaching the exact same class 3 times in a row, but I'm teaching it differently because each group of students have a different set of needs.
That's exactly what people need. I feel like I should have learned my own learning style on earlier on in education, so that I could progress more.
And because it makes you feel like you're at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Dr. Sarah, I see you have.
Oh, I do. I want to chime in with, as a mother of 2 young kids and watching the education system that's all around us and watching their development and being really tuned in to wanting the best for them. I'm really astonished at how many parents are looking at particular markers, particular school systems are looking at a teacher that winds up being able to deliver more regimented structural things versus engaging the student.
Right.
Is looked at as more valuable by
And
the
that
school
is a part
system
of the problem.
versus the way that the children appreciate teachers.
Thank
And
you.
Sidney Poitier's students really, really appreciated him. And I think it all ultimately falls back on parents as well as
Oh, of
teachers.
course. You can't
as well.
exclude the parents. They have to be a part of the process. Now, Kim, I think another really important thing that is overlooked with educating students is the fact that we're spirit. You know, we have these human bodies, but we're spiritual. You know, we are really, really good about indoctrinating religion, but in terms of spirituality, it's totally overlooked. And so students tend to be very, very fear-based because they don't have this inner faith, this inner strength, and this inner knowing of their of themselves as divine beings. And I'd like for you to address that.
I agree with you 100% because you look at the people in the classrooms that don't really want to learn. They're, like you were saying, throwing spitballs or doing whatever. And there's really only one reason for it, and that is they don't have a sense of purpose for their lives.
Yes.
And I think it's the greatest tragedy in modern society is that we have put ourselves in a sort of philosophical, spiritual no man's land
Yes.
because we haven't resolved the conflict between traditional Christianity and scientific materialism.
Yeah,
we haven't found a middle way.
I agree.
Yeah, so
too.
so as a result of that, you grow up feeling like you have no sense of purpose that really appeals to you.
Yeah.
And there are some people that have that inert sense that there must be a purpose and they keep looking for it, but many people don't. They need to be told that there is a purpose and that it does matter. It does make a difference to you what you do and how much you learn and you know how you really approach life.
Yes, and you know, in my lower level English class, I use Paulo Coelho's book, The Alchemist, because it's all about, you know, discovering your bliss and your personal legend. And the students who take that developmental class before they take my 101, they are so much more prepared for life.
Wow.
Because they discover, like, a part of their research paper is what is your gift to the planet, you know,
right.
what is your purpose, and they're asking that, you know, I feel like I have one, but I don't have a clue, and allowing them to discover that is really beautiful. Ann-Marie, you were getting ready to say something.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, a really important aspect because for me, myself, I'm 22 years old and barely now am I discovering like who I really am. And it took me, you know, like I said, 22 years. So it's a little bit frustrating that, you know, that I would go to school and that I would want to be learning things and I'd want to learn about myself. And it's so structural.
And nobody pointed it out.
Exactly. They you don't get that. And it wasn't until I got to Mission College where I had, you know, really a certain like love there with teachers that, you know, that I could connect to and that were there to mentor me, that I'm really finding out who I am now. But it's sad, like, when you keep suppressing people and they can't really find themselves. And that's part of, you know, the whole identity issue, that we can't figure out who we are. So how are we supposed to succeed if we don't really care?
Yeah.
Right, and I think it boils down to a lack of respect for the student. And if you don't respect that they have a gift that they're bringing to the planet and that your job is to help them discover that and to bring it out and flower. We are so excited to be talking about educational reform here today on Divine Love Talk. And when we come back after commercial break, we're going to be looking at why Finland's educational system is so successful and what we might be able to do to model that for America. Thank you for joining us on Divine Love Talk on CRN with Dr. Parthenia Grant and the divine Dr. Sarah Larsen and Kim Michaels from Transcendence Toolbox and Vanessa Benjamin and Ann-Marie.
Attention business owners, if your company is having trouble paying its bills, there are many ways your creditors can hurt you. They start by calling you at work, then at home. Then they call other family members that guaranteed payment. They can sue you, take your assets, freeze your bank accounts, and threaten your very way of life. If you don't handle these matters properly, you could lose everything. The good news is that you don't have to live like this anymore. Corporate Turnaround has helped thousands of small business owners reduce their debts and buy them the time they needed to pay their creditors. Rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau, Corporate Turnaround will immediately go to work handling your most difficult debts and keep your creditors from putting you out of business. The call is free and so is our consultation. That's right, we'll provide you with expert advice right now absolutely for free as part of this special radio promotion. Visit us now at profitfromdebt.com or call 1-800-505-3894, 1-800-505-3894, 1-800-505-3894.
How could anyone trust our healthcare system after it tells patients their health problems are incurable after its treat the symptom protocols fail? Then many of these same patients get well after Googling diseases cured with sea salt and water, or Googling water cure TV news specials. Instead of science trying to find out why these people got well, they continue to use the same failed protocols. Even Saudi Arabia is doing the right thing. Google Saudi Gazette salt cures 73 illnesses. The truth gets out because we pay for it. No one else has the courage. Paid for by Connie and Bob Butts.
Have you heard? Proactive is better than ever. Stay tuned for a 1,000,000 bottle giveaway. Do you have troubled skin, acne? Well, we have great news. With Proactive, your acne can heal, and you can prevent new breakouts from happening. Be one of the first to try it by giving us a call at 1-800-752-4996. Because we're going to let 1,000,000 people try Proactive risk-free and also receive our legendary refining mask and green tea moisturizer free if you call right now. You heard it. Be one of the first to try Better Than Ever Proactive Solution. You'll receive a 60-day risk-free trial, plus a free refining mask and green tea moisturizer. Call 1-800-752-4996. This is our best radio offer. Get your risk-free 60-day trial of Proactive plus 2 free extras. Go to getproactive.com or call 1-800-752-4996. That's 1-800-752-4996.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, Ph.D., host of Healthline. Join me live and hear the latest breakthrough information for you and your family. This holiday season, we have several quantum state supplements on special, perfect as a gift for yourself or loved ones. Call 800-370-3447. That's 800-370-3447. This holiday season, give the gift of great health.
Welcome back to Divine Love Talk on CRN with Dr. Parthenia Grant. We've got Kim Michaels from Transcendence Toolbox on Skype with us. The divine Dr. Sarah Larsen. We've got Vanessa Benjamin and Ann-Marie Catano. We're talking about the massive job of reforming America's educational system. We're taking on a lot, so
Goodness.
we're going to hello, but so it's got to start somewhere. So we will continue this discussion next week, and I wanted to point out the whole issue that Escalante addressed in that movie Stand and Deliver and what he represented to the students, but what he did was he helped students find the courage to separate themselves from society's low expectations of failure for them, and he helped them rise to the standards that he set for them. And studies have shown, the Rosenthal effect, shows that the students will live up to whatever expectations the teacher has for them. And what I've seen teaching in K through 12 and now on a college level is that the expectations for students with many, many professors is dismally low.
Yes,
What were you going to say?
I had an experience in high school where we had 3 classes. It was an academy, and the teachers only had an A, B, C, and F system.
That's it.
A D was not an option, and if you were getting an F, you had to stay after class. There was no option, so there was only a chance for you to succeed.
Well, and well, that's actually very good. You know, because you're not setting them up to fail. So,
Right.
did you feel that you were being set up to succeed?
I did. I felt
Okay.
very much that all three teachers collaborated together. They
How
worked
about that?
Yeah. So it was a really good experience, and because students that were expected to fail were seeing that they could make it out of there with the A, B, or C.
How
There
about
was
that?
no,
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the same model that I use with my students. I assess where they are at the beginning of the semester, and if they come in there with the qualities that where they're going to fail, I say, okay, I'm willing to help you succeed. Are you willing to come and see me every week? And until we've got you where you can pass this class with at least a C. And if they tell me, oh, I don't have the extra time, I'm working too hard, and I say, well, come back and see me next semester, because I'm not going to set you up to fail.
Right.
And that's just fair to the students because they get discouraged. But Vanessa, you were going to add to that discussion.
Well, I feel like if you're going to have a self-fulfilling prophecy, why not it be a good one, right?
Hello!
Yeah.
That's what physics is showing today.
Yes.
Quantum physics is showing this. Students perform at the level that teachers expect them to perform, which is the same study that you were showing.
Yes.
If you believe you can, if you think you can.
Okay,
You can.
and Kim Michaels, in terms of our thoughts affecting reality, I know you have something to add to that.
Yeah, but let me also say that you were talking about earlier how the teacher said, or the student said to the teacher in the movie, what are you going to do to us? Corporeal punishment has been outlawed. And to me, that shows the bind we have put ourselves in, because we used to beat
Yes.
people into submission in schools.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm older than any of you, so I can still remember how it was back when teachers were actually allowed to hit students.
Wow.
Well, not that ever happened to me as a student, but it was a very different mindset. And so what you have is now you've taken that away, you've taken the stick away,
Yeah.
but you haven't put a carrot there instead.
There you go.
So you don't have a positive motivation.
And thank you, that is so cogent.
And I think that's why people become self-fulfilling prophecies. I mean, it may be that you can show that the expectations that teachers have is what the students will fulfill, but really I would say what they're fulfilling is their own expectations.
Yes. Yes.
And this shows to me that students really want to do better.
They
Why
do.
would anybody want to fail?
Why are
Yeah.
they there?
Right? So they need somebody to put an expectation up for them. But I also think we could take the other approach, and that we could teach students who they are and what their purpose in life is, and they would have their own internal motivation.
Absolutely. And that's the approach that I use, and it works. And, you know, if we just want to spread these ideas and multiply them, because there just aren't enough of us. Okay, I didn't know if we were getting ready to go to commercial break. I'm sorry. Okay, now I wanted to point out that we have this debate that's going on in America about the merit system, and when we come back after commercial break, we want to look at how effective instructors get very little recognition, and often the principals or the administrators don't even want people to know who they are, and how we can address that whole system of merit for teachers, because it has been addressed very, very effectively in Finland. So when we come back after commercial break, you are listening to Divine Love Talk on CRN with Dr. Parthenia Grant. We will be looking at what we might be able to do with that. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, this is Larry Minetti, and boy do I have a holiday gift for you. You've heard me talking about the great pet products from 21st Century. Well, we've teamed up to spread some more holiday cheer. Dress up your pet in their best holiday costume and take a photo. If you've got a matching outfit, well, that's even better. Post a photo to my Facebook page, www.facebook.com/The Real Larry Minetti, by December the 14th, and tune in to the live show on December the 17th to see if you won the grand prize of $100 cash. That's right, $100 cash, the second prize of $50, or the third prize of $25. And hey, who doesn't need the cash for the holidays? Nancy and I are looking forward to seeing your furry friends in their holiday best. Happy holidays, folks.
When does life begin? And who decides?
I heard a sound, and it was just like a little purring sound. And there, on this dirty utility counter, was a child, laying there. There were doctors sitting around the nurse's station, having coffee, and I told them that I found a baby. And the doctor said, "It's an abortion. Just let it go." What kind of a doctor is that?
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
In the most controversial film of our time, one voice will speak for millions, the voice of John.
To order a DVD or for more information, go to voiceofjohn.org. That's voiceofjohn.org.
Paid for by Bob Butts in memory of my wife, Connie.
The Pikes Peak region welcomes you back to the beauty of the Purple Mountain Majesty, to the adventure of the great outdoors, to world-class shops, restaurants, and hotels, to our rich history and heritage, to the events, attractions, and culture that make memories for a lifetime. Colorado Springs and the Pikes Peak region, welcome back. For more information, www.visitcos.com.
Try Fry Vineyards, the Mendocino County organic wine with no sulfites added from America's pioneering organic winery. Fry Wine, the first maker of certified biodynamic wines in the United States. At Fry Wines, our emphasis is on producing organic wine of the highest quality while caring for our planet and palate alike. Check out our website at frywine.com and join the Fry Vineyards Wine Club. You'll receive 20% off all orders and much more. Plus, you can check out our internet-only specials. And go to our crntalk.com website or the frywine.com website and check out Chef Piero's Recipe of the Week. Great biodynamic wines from Redwood Valley in Mendocino County, California. Fry Wines. Go to frywine.com. That's FREYWINE. Frywine.com. Check it out and enjoy great wines at your home tonight.
Today we're asking people to name their one favorite meal for one from Stouffer's.
One favorite? Stouffer's lasagna. But how about the barbecue chicken?
Grilled white meat chicken coated with a sweet and tangy sauce with a side of cheesy potatoes topped with crisp bacon.
Yes.
So that's your one Stouffer's favorite.
Oh, but I also like Stouffer's meatloaf.
Classic meatloaf with a rich tomato glaze, smothered in a savory gravy with a tasty side of... Hey, where are you going?
You kidding? The store.
Stock up on all your favorite Stouffer's meals for one today.
Welcome back to Divine Love Talk on CRN with Dr. Parthenia Grant, where we are continuing the discussion on ways to reform America's failing educational system. Now, the debate on publicly rating teachers by name has generated controversy based on whether the method is sound and whether the publicity is fair to those teachers who have low rankings.
Silliness.
What do you have to say about that?
I think it's an excellent idea because, too many times students are getting shut out when they go tell their superiors, hey, this teacher is not teaching me anything. And then they tell you, okay, well, at the end of the semester, you can give an assessment. And it's like, okay, well, at the end of the semester, that's not going to help me after I failed already. Like, I need it now. I need help now. And, if we're not calling these teachers out by name and praising the ones that are actually helping us, where are we really going to get? We're going to keep failing over and over.
It's Groundhog Day over and over again. So I laughed when I read that in the LA Times. It's like, the union, LA's teachers union is more concerned about those teachers with low ratings. Oh, we don't want to hurt them. Wow.
Foolishness, literally.
I think that's an old way that's dying as well, which looks
I am waiting for that one.
I'm looking forward to the day that we really focus on the benefits of assessing one another, of sharing critical information.
Yes.
And, Yelp is so great for that website, Yelp, which rates different restaurants, different organizations. It's so beneficial to have a rating system that's developed by those utilizing the services.
Well, what I found really funny was, how they have Rate My Professor,
right?
And the students will rate their professors, and then I didn't even know it existed, and professors go on there and they read it, and they will hate on other professors, and they will seriously, like if you get like really good ratings, like one of the professors said, "Oh, have you checked your Rate My Professor?" I was like, "What is that?" And I checked it out and had all these great ratings, and then all of a sudden at the new school, it was like crazy things were coming up that no student would say, and then I went to the other professor and I said, "Well, wait a minute, this is crazy," and he said, "Oh, it's one of the other professors over there. They start hating on you." So it's a sad kind of childish situation that we get caught up in at the college level, where you have these lazy, incompetent teachers that don't want to work hard and that don't care about the students, and then you get one that actually wants to do the job and does, puts in all the extra work, and they feel like, "Oh, you make me look bad.
Well,
how dare you? How dare you get out there?" And I'll be there until midnight, helping kids with their transfer papers and their letters of recommendation and their proposals, for graduate school, and I'll be there till midnight, and the campus police, they're kicking me out, and the professor's like, "Why do you do this? The students don't appreciate it." Well, obviously they do. They're lined up.
Right.
You don't appreciate it.
Yeah, I've never seen any professor have a line outside of their door ever.
Except mine.
Except you, of course.
Well,
every week.
You've found your purpose,
and I love it.
You've found your purpose, and you're inspired, and it's drawing the best out of you, and a lot of times,
and out of them, the students,
out of the students as well. So it's an infinity system, meaning
a loop,
a loop that feeds back in, and I think that's one of the greatest things that we can develop. If you're not inspired to teach, if you're not being called, that's not being drawn out of you, let a system reward you for doing something else.
Right. Oh, not according to the LA Teachers Union. You better punish them for doing that. So what's often lost in this discussion about merit are the benefits of singling out those teachers who consistently succeed. And there was an interesting quote from the U.S. Education Secretary Arne Duncan, who denounced a culture that exists in public education that has long been averse to talking about teacher success stories. And Duncan said, "The fact is, rather than shining a light on effective teachers, our education system hides them." Now, an interesting thing is that last week we talked about Newark, New Jersey enacting a merit system, and then Florida has also enacted a merit pay. And the Florida system believes that schools will now, with that system, identify top teachers, reward them financially, and assign them to work with their neediest students.
That's great.
Yes. But now let's look at the other side of the argument against merit pay. Now, LA is against it, the union, and it said the teachers union claims that any merit pay proposal would effectively destroy collaboration at the workplace, as if it already exists. Okay. Now, according to the LA Times, the union claims that if teachers knew that student test scores would result in higher pay, why would any teacher want to share good ideas with their colleagues?
But that's like the opposite of a logical argument,
Right.
That makes no sense.
It is a logical fallacy. Thank you. See, she took my class. She can identify logical fallacy. Love it. Ann-Marie, what's your thought?
Solution to that.
Okay, Kim?
Because you could have a merit system that not only rewarded teachers individually, but also collectively.
Yes, absolutely.
students who are doing well, then they could get even more pay than they can do individually.
I agree.
And that would solve that problem up.
Thank you, Kim. And that's the idea that if you start with a merit pay system, I am sure that every low-performing teacher, once they see the other teachers getting the pay raises and they're not getting them, don't you think they would want to go to those teachers and say, you think you could give me some pointers on that?
Yeah. Right. But I think at this point with the education system is that we don't know how to, not blame the students because they're so young. Everything, everyone wants to blame, well, it's the students' fault because they don't want to try. Nobody wants to take, the other side and say, okay, well, maybe something's wrong with the way you're teaching.
Thank you.
Students, right?
Because I would always feel like I was failing. If my student was failing, like every semester, I would throw out something that doesn't work. I'll ask the students, was that helpful to you? Did you like that book? No. Well, then done. Let's go do something else, because I always felt like it was my responsibility to help the student succeed and not blame the student and say, oh, you're not motivated. My job is to find a way to motivate you.
Having higher expectations for your teachers will raise the expectation of the students too.
Absolutely. Now Indiana, who also opposes the merit pay, says that, let's see, okay, Will Krebs, the Indiana Department of Education's Director of Policy and Research, said, if they take on more responsibility, now this is the positive side, if they take on more responsibility over time, they should be compensated and recognized. Merit pay will increase incentives to do good work. Good teachers will make more money. Poor teachers will be removed. Overall pay, along with student performance, could rise. Now, that's according to the Hetchinger report, but that was one, Indiana doesn't want it, the teachers union, but that was one proponent in Indiana that did want it. And the opponents still argue that if you reward educators based on student test scores, that it would exacerbate the teach to the test syndrome that has narrowed the curriculum and dulled the educational experience of students and teachers, and that it would also create conditions that would encourage cheating. Now, what do you guys think about that argument?
This is already happening without the merit system, so I don't see how it's going to exacerbate it. So
okay, and then we got a curriculum that's already narrow and dulled. You think it would make it more narrow and dull?
You know what? I think that the solution here is to to praise those that are doing good and to single out those that aren't, because so many times, and especially in inner city schools, especially community colleges, people aren't graduating with their AAs because they can't pass English and they can't pass math.
Oh, yeah.
And, for me, 22 years old, honor student, and math is my biggest struggle. And, we're going up there and we're telling them, we want better math teachers. We want, teachers that are going to give us homework and help us instead of just testing 24/7.
Right.
Like, we can't pass this. If we don't know it, we're not going to pass it. So, I'm opposed to not having the merit system. I think that's something that we definitely need because, our education system is already dull. Our students aren't passing. We need to do something to fix that.
So you're saying, in other words, in a positive way, you support the merit system.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want to very quickly go into Finland's merit. It's very meritorious. Okay, because let's just start with the fact that Finland only hires teachers that graduated in the top 10%.
Wow.
And they have to have a master's degree, and Finland subsidizes their education. So the education is subsidized all the way through. So when you're starting with the merit of the teacher, him or herself, who has proven to be in the top of the class, then you've got an effective model to begin with. Right. Now look at America. We will tend to scrape the bottom of the barrel to see what's down there.
I mean, they're here, they're breathing, right?
Unfortunately, we don't pay our teachers well.
Well, there you go.
So
okay.
There's not a huge reward system in the monetary way for them.
Absolutely. And so let's look at that. So in Finland, a high school teacher who has been in the system for 15 years, their pay is going to be 102% higher than other college graduates.
Wow.
And a teacher in Finland has the same honor and the same prestige as a doctor or lawyer.
And they should.
Yeah.
They should.
Because your students, I mean, the children's future is in the hands of these people.
The country's future is in the hands of the children.
Yes.
And so it's an investment for everyone's well-being. Those doctors were trained by a teacher.
Yes. Absolutely.
True.
So, Kim, I'm sure you have something to add to that discussion about the importance of teachers. Because you're a teacher. I mean, you're a spiritual teacher.
Well, yeah, but I was a little baffled by this, that it was actually good to have the same prestige as doctors and lawyers, but maybe that's just me.
Well, no. Okay,
So
Kim.
what happens-
Only in the sense that it's hard to recruit anyone to want to be a teacher when that position is considered to be a lowly position that's low paying, it's unrewarding, and it's looked down upon. So that's the comparison.
Yeah, I understand. It was just a bad attempt at a joke there.
Oh,
Because,
sorry.
what they say about lawyers
Okay.
in the U.S. So, but I think all of this is very, very good, because you've talked about the ego many times on the show, and the dream of the ego is that it can exercise power without having accountability.
There you go.
You know, that's really the essence of the ego.
Yes.
And so who is it that we are offending by requiring teachers to be
Perform.
responsible for whether they do a good job or not?
Yes.
It can only be the ego that's offended.
Thank you.
So that's where it comes from.
Yes.
All these people in the union, they are just offended because they're in their ego.
Yeah, and thank you. Wow, that was beautiful, Kim. And now I also wanted to point out, and Vanessa, you told me earlier how you were mislabeled very early on when you entered the educational system and put in a slow class, whereas in Finland, the children are not assessed until they've been in school for 6 years.
Wow.
Which allows for an equilibrium to hit in. And now, here's the other beautiful thing that's like the Montessori system where I sent my kids, where you have the best and the worst students working collaboratively in groups together.
See, I like that.
And what's beautiful about Finland is that they have the least disparity among strong and weak students, whereas in the U.S. we have the greatest disparity between the strong and weak students. And that's something that I intuitively knew, and I use that in my classroom model, where I actually call out the names of the students that got A+ on their papers, and I say, stand up, and now you're a mentor. Now, see the students around here, those of you who are having trouble, these students don't have these problems, and they have now volunteered to mentor you. And so when they get into their little study groups to do their editing, I have a student that already knows grammar and usage and punctuation, and they can set the tone, and the rest of the students will rise to that level. It just is common sense. And in Finland, they have 3 teachers to 1 classroom.
Wow.
And the teachers are collaboratively working together, and Finland has 30% of the students get extra time one-on-one, because that's the other thing that you were talking about with math. Now, for me as an English teacher, and knowing how much work is involved to try to get a student up to par, to reading level, I knew going in when I decided to quit a high-paying job to be a teacher that I was going to have to give extra time. And so I give it on the weekends. I give it till midnight, because that's what it takes. The students need the one-on-one, and you can't just think that they're going to get there in the classroom. Finland, that's a part of their system, is that you automatically give the extra time to bring them up to par. What a concept.
Yeah, I think something though with our education system over here as well is that we have really large class sizes. And one teacher.
They're too big.
Yeah, we have 60 kids, in one math class, one teacher, and
it'll wear you out. Good thing I've been single for years, because being married, I couldn't do what I'm doing.
Right.
And that's a very cogent point, Ann-Marie, because they pointed out that their science classes, they limit them to 16.
Wow.
So that the students would be able to complete like full experiments in the class. So class size is really, really important. But look at the interesting thing thing is that, the Finnish students with this system, they're only in school 4 hours a day, but they come in tops internationally in math, science, and reading.
And they spend 30% less per student in Finland than the U.S.
On money.
Money. So the U.S.'s
You
argument
can't say it's going to cost more. It costs less. We'll be wrapping this up, but we'll be completing this discussion next week. So join us after commercial break on Divine Love Talk on CRN with Dr. Parthenia Grant.
Whether it's a serious fall, fire danger, or other type of home emergency, Life Alert is there for you. The company with its slogan, "Help, I've fallen and I can't get up," protects its members. Here are some of them.
When you have a heart attack like I did, and there's no one there, Life Alert was there for me.
Having a secure feeling through Life Alert is ideal.
My independence is possible because of it.
Now, Life Alert can also protect you in a fire emergency with a system that automatically notifies our monitoring center.
Thanks to Life Alert, you can live alone without ever being alone.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-814-4041. That's 1-800-814-4041. Call now, 1-800-814-4041. For a free brochure, call 1-800-814-4041. 1-800-814-4041.
Hi, this is Joe Mantegna. Every time my Uncle Willie tells me about his service in Patton's Third Army in World War II, I'm reminded of what we owe the U.S. Army. 14 generations of American soldiers who have courageously defended our nation. Their stories represent the best of America and should never be forgotten. Join me to help build the National Museum of the United States Army, a long overdue tribute to all American soldiers. To learn more, visit armyhistory.org.
Hi, this is Larry Minetti. I played Rick on Magnum P.I. This winter, you've got to escape to Hawaii and stay at the Hilton Hawaiian Village Waikiki Beach Resort. Come lounge by your choice of 5 beautiful sparkling swimming pools. Surf or swim on Waikiki's whitest white sandy beach. Enjoy water sports at Duke Kahanamoku Lagoon. Visit the shops. Dine at any one of Hilton Hawaiian Village's favorite restaurants. And watch awesome fireworks on Friday nights. Hilton Hawaiian Village is Waikiki's only true destination resort. With more of everything, folks. Book today at HiltonHawaiianVillage.com or see your travel agency. And don't forget to say, Rick sent me.
The weekend is coming! The weekend is coming!
This Saturday at Ace, get 50% off one regular priced item under $30 with your Saturday coupon. Find and print the coupon at acehardware.com.
The weekend is coming!
So visit your local Ace and get saving, then get your weekend back. At Ace, the helpful place. Limit 1 coupon per household. Offer only valid Saturday, November 24th. Must present coupon to redeem offer.
The weekend is coming! The weekend is coming!
Additional conditions and other exclusions apply.
Okay, we are wrapping up this discussion on Divine Love Talk on CRN with Dr. Parthenia Grant on ways to reform our educational system. Now, I thought this was sad that California, Los Angeles, has a 50% dropout rate.
Wow.
And that was when I came here 20 years ago, and I'm sure it's higher. I didn't check that one. But 93% of kids in Finland graduate from high school. But not only do 93% graduate, but 66% attend college, while 43% attend vocational schools. Do you guys see that? Okay, there's like 1% that don't do anything. what does that tell us? Okay, they only have 4 hours of school, but 75 minutes of those 4 hours for grade school kids is recess time. And with our kids, we have these long hours and they get 27 minutes of playtime. So we're wrapping this up. Dr. Sarah, would you give us your closing remark?
Well, I would love to say knowledge is learning something new every day. Wisdom is letting go of something every day.
How about that? What's not working?
What's not working, and that's in our education system. Let's let some things go.
Yes, a lot.
Yes.
Kim Michaels, I know you have something to leave us with tonight.
Yeah, I grew up in Denmark where there is public health care. In other words, it's paid for by taxpayer money. And there are people in Denmark who have started realizing that the biggest challenge and the biggest cost in the public healthcare system over the next couple of decades is going to be mental health, mental illness.
Yes.
And there's only one reason for that, really, in my mind. That is that there's a problem with our educational system in the sense that we teach people how to use computers and other forms of technology, but we don't teach children about the one thing that affects everything we do in life, and that's the mind, the psyche.
Yes.
And so I believe that by the time you graduate from high school, you should have a driver's license to the mind.
Oh, nice.
Love that, Kim. Okay, Ann-Marie, what would you like to leave the audience with?
I just want to say something to all the students out there. You know, the educational system, it's our system. We control it. You know, we're the ones that go to school. We're the ones that need to be there, you know, and it's time for everybody to find their voice and to fight for what's right, and that is education.
And that is what your student empowerment group really stands for. And
Right.
and I know sometimes you get discouraged because there's so much apathy, and we've been addressing student apathy on the show, and I just want you to not give up because so much of it is related to poor diet, the GMOs in the food, and the fluoride in the water, which actually dumbs us down. So I'd like for your group to get involved with banning fluoride in the public water system. You have children, because it dumbs them down and makes them apathetic. And, you know, it's a full tier system of mind, body, spirit, and we can't attack this just on one level.
Right.
And Vanessa, I know you have something beautiful to say.
Well, I do
Closing.
believe that, you know, teachers who do think outside of the box really do help retaining information for with students. So that's what I appreciate in a teacher. And you did that for me. I have a math teacher who did that for me, Professor McCurchin. So yeah.
Shout out to the good teachers.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. And next week we will be returning to this topic. And we're Dr. Sarah.
I just want to
remind
add
people
one more thing. With education is the great engine of personal development, is what Nelson Mandela said. It's through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, and the son of a mine worker can become the head of the mine. That a child of a farm worker can become the president of a nation.
How about that?
Yes.
And we want to remind you guys to set your positive intentions about education, about health, about peace, about love on this planet, and unity and oneness on Wednesday, 12/12/12. That's such an important day.
5:30 LA time.
5:30 LA time.
You can do it.
Go to Transcendence Toolbox. There's some beautiful positive meditations. Whatever you do, just be positive and set your intentions. We can change this collectively, but it starts with each of us individually. So we love you, and thank you for tuning in to Divine Love Talk on CRN.
We want to thank our engineer as well. He is awesome.
We love you, Eric.
Thank you.
Around the CRN studios, we pride ourselves on being the station of every situation. Of course, you can always listen live through your local cable TV provider, as well as on our website at crntalk.com. But if cutting-edge technology is more your style, you'll be happy to know that CRN is now available on Wi-Fi radio. Simply log on to Reciva.com. That's RECIVA.com and look for CRN. You'll be able to access all of our great shows and listen live anywhere in the world. Be part of your favorite shows and get the full CRN listening experience you would have with any traditional radio, podcast, or live stream from our website. For more information on where and how to listen, or for a full list of our programming, log on to crntalk.com and create your own listening experience today.
channels. The radio channels. CRN.
Attention business owners. Did you know that over 50% of people who search for a local business are doing it on their mobile device? If your business doesn't have a website designed for mobile viewing, then you're missing out on a huge amount of new customers. The good news is that ABI Hosting is now giving away a free mobile website with every annual business plan. That's right. Sign up with ABI today, and we'll include a mobile version of your website absolutely for free. This doesn't replace your current website. It's an additional version optimized for mobile viewing that you can also edit and further customize. It's loaded with high-tech features, including click-to-map and the popular click-to-call feature, which makes it even easier for mobile users to find you.
Is this item in stock?
I'd like to make a reservation.
To learn more, call now.
1-800-769-0887. That's 1-800-769-0887. Get your free mobile website now. Again, 1-800-769-0887. That's 1-800-769-0887.
The Pikes Peak region welcomes you back to the beauty of the Purple Mountain Majesty, to the adventure of the great outdoors, to world-class shops, restaurants, and hotels, to our rich history and heritage, to the events, attractions, and culture that make memories for a lifetime. Colorado Springs and the Pikes Peak region, welcome back. For more information, www.visitcos.com.
Hi, this is Larry Minetti. I played Rick on Magnum P.I. This winter, you've got to escape to Hawaii and stay at the Hilton Hawaiian Village Waikiki Beach Resort. Come lounge by your choice of 5 beautiful sparkling swimming pools. Surf or swim on Waikiki's widest white sandy beach. Enjoy water sports at Duke Kahanamoku Lagoon. Visit the shops. Dine at any one of Hilton Hawaiian Village's favorite restaurants and watch awesome fireworks on Friday nights. Hilton Hawaiian Village is Waikiki's only true destination resort. With more of everything, folks. Book today at HiltonHawaiianVillage.com or see your travel agency. And don't forget to say, Rick sent me.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names.
Really?